She cannot find the right underwear to wear beneath them. Nothing looks smooth. Nothing feels right. At the time, she is working as a fax machine saleswoman. She has no fashion background, no business training, just a small, everyday frustration that will not go away. So she picks up a pair of scissors and cuts the feet off an old pair of pantyhose. That small, strange decision would eventually turn into a billion-dollar company. Welcome back to Gentle Wisdom, where you learn English while becoming a better version of yourself. One story, one step at a time. Today, we explore the story of Sara Blakely. She built Spanx from $5,000 in savings and one idea that almost nobody believed in. By the end of this video, you will understand why the most important person to convince is not the world. It is yourself. Let's begin. Chapter 1: The idea behind her. Sara Blakely was not a fashion designer. She did not have a business degree. For 7 years, she sold fax machines door to door. It was a job that taught her one thing well: how to handle rejection again and again. She grew up with an unusual kind of encouragement. Her father used to ask her a strange question at dinner. "What did you fail at this week?" If she had nothing to answer, he seemed almost disappointed. Failure was not something to fear in her house. It was proof that she had tried. This lesson shaped her more than she realized at the time. Most children learn to avoid failure. Blakely learned to see it as evidence of courage. This idea stayed with her. Years later, she cut the feet off her pantyhose to solve her own fashion problem. She did not see a strange experiment. She saw a solution. A way to feel confident in white pants without the lines and bulk of traditional underwear. She believed she was not the only woman with this problem. Millions of women, she thought, had probably felt the same discomfort without ever saying so out loud. At the time, almost every person making women's undergarments was a man. Nobody making the product had actually worn it. Blakely was seeing a problem that had been ignored for decades, simply because she was looking at it from the inside. Chapter 2: The Year of Silence. Here is something most people would not expect. After she had the idea, Sara Blakely did not tell anyone. Not her closest friends. Not her family. For an entire year, she kept it completely to herself. This was not shame. It was protection. She later explained her thinking simply. An idea is most fragile in the moment you have it. New ideas are delicate. They have not grown strong roots yet. If people had said, "Why hasn't anyone done this already?" she might have believed them. If they had said, "A big company will copy you in 6 months," that doubt might have taken root too. Those doubts feel small when someone else says them, but they can be powerful enough to stop a person before they even begin. And if she had believed them, she might have gone right back to selling fax machines. So she protected her idea the way you might protect a small flame in the wind. She gave it time to grow stronger before she let anyone try to blow it out. In short, she was not hiding out of fear. She was protecting something valuable until it was ready. Believe in your idea before anyone else does. Chapter 3: Betting on Herself. With only $5,000 in savings, Blakely could not afford a patent lawyer. So she went to a bookstore. She bought a textbook on patent law. Then she wrote the patent herself. She could not afford a fancy office. So she worked from her apartment. She packed every order herself. She shipped every order herself. Every part of the business she built with her own hands. Not because it was easy. Because it was the only way she could move forward with the resources she had. When it was finally time to sell her product to a major retailer, she flew herself to Dallas. She had just 10 minutes to make her case. 5 minutes in, she realized the buyer was not convinced by her words alone. So she made a bold decision. She walked the buyer to a bathroom. She modeled the product herself. She showed exactly how it worked under a pair of white pants. In that moment, everything changed. The buyer understood. This is the kind of decision only someone who deeply believes in their idea can make. Not because it is comfortable. Because it works. Put simply, she was willing to do what felt embarrassing. She trusted her product more than she feared looking foolish. That trust came from somewhere deep. It came from a full year of believing in something before anyone else did. Believe in your idea before anyone else does. Chapter 4: When the world finally agreed. Even after that first yes, the road was not easy. Blakely called her own friends. She asked them to buy her product from stores near them. She just did not want it to seem like it was failing on the shelves. Then something unexpected happened. A famous television host discovered the product and loved it. She featured it as one of her favorite items of the year. Millions of viewers heard about it on her show. At that moment, Blakely was almost out of both money and friends willing to buy the product. The timing could not have been better. After that, everything moved quickly. Orders increased. Department stores across the country wanted the product. What started as $5,000 and one quiet idea grew into something enormous. A company sold in more than 50 countries, worth more than $1 billion. But here is the important part. The success did not come from that one lucky moment on television. It came from everything Blakely did before anyone else believed in her. That is the key. Luck can open a door, but it cannot walk through it for you. Blakely had already built something real, one small decision at a time, long before the world was watching. Chapter 5: What this means for you. Most people wait for permission. They wait for someone to say this is a good idea before they take it seriously themselves. Sara Blakely's story suggests something different. The belief has to start with you. Not because other people's opinions do not matter, but because if you wait for everyone else to agree first, you may never begin at all. You do not need $5,000 or a business idea to use this lesson. You need one thing you believe in, even quietly, even before you are ready to say it out loud. Maybe it is your English. Maybe it is a skill you are building. Maybe it is a version of yourself you are becoming, one small step at a time. You do not need to announce it to everyone right away. You do not need everyone's approval to start. You only need to protect it quietly the way Blakely protected her idea for that first year. Protect that belief the way Blakely protected hers. Give it time to grow strong before you let the world's opinions in. Every quiet decision to keep going is a vote for the person you want to become. Every idea you protect is a seed you are choosing to grow. Every step you take before anyone notices is still a step forward. Think about the version of yourself you are quietly building right now. Nobody sees the small moments. Nobody sees the 15 minutes you spend learning English today. Nobody sees the honest effort you put in when no one is watching. But those quiet moments are exactly where belief is built. Blakely spent a full year building belief in silence, long before the world ever saw Spanx. Your quiet moments are doing the same thing for you right now. You do not need everyone to believe in you today. You only need to believe in yourself first. Believe in your idea before anyone else does. You are becoming. Something has shifted in you today. The person who finishes this video is not quite the same as the one who started it. That shift is real, and it is yours to keep. If you enjoyed today's story, please like and subscribe. A new story arrives every day. Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments too. Every choice shapes your life. Small habits, big results. And keep becoming. Study Corner, today's English notes. Welcome to the Study Corner. Let's review 3 useful words from today's story. The first word is fragile. In the story we heard, an idea is most fragile in the moment you have it. Fragile means easily broken or damaged. Something that needs to be handled with care. For example, new ideas are fragile. Protect them until they grow stronger. The next word is convinced. In the story we heard, the buyer was not convinced by her words alone. Convinced means fully believing that something is true. Certain about something. For example, she was not convinced until she saw it with her own eyes. The third word is rejection. In the story we heard, a job that taught her one thing well: how to handle rejection again and again. Rejection means being told no or not accepted, especially after trying. For example, learning to handle rejection calmly makes it easier to keep trying. What was the most useful thing you learned today? Or is there anything you want to know more about? Share your thoughts in the comments. Small steps. Every day. You are doing well. See you tomorrow.